Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Is it working? Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Heather. It is the middle of the night. It's about midnight. It's the butt crack of the nighttime. And as usual, I'm the only one awake. I'm wide awake. And I'm thinking about books. So I feel like we should do a book tag. Book tag night. Book tag midnight. Are you ready? The OG for this tag is Roisin's Reading, which was lovely. I've watched that one as well. Give that a watch. But the first videos that I saw for this tag, that put the tag on my radar, if you will, was Marcella and her books and Past Storytime. Both chef's kiss. Brilliant. I fully recommend them. I'll link them below so you can have a watch. Okay, this is the Quarter Year Crisis book tag. And I love ones like this, okay? There's like a mid-year one, and there's like an end-of-year one, and everything. And these help us to examine and reassess our goals for the year, okay? And as a person who loves to play act, being one of these people who like makes and accomplishes goals, these really help me to get into the mood and to really see what it would be like to be one of those people who accomplishes goals. Sorry, I know dysfunctional adults aren't funny, okay, but we sort of are, kind of, sometimes. Innit? Okay, 9 questions. Are you ready? First question, how many books have you read so far this year? And I have several lists, loads of which hadn't been updated to each other. Some had some books on them, some had other books on them, but I have amalgamated my lists and make sure they match now. And it is 27 books, which is pretty on par, I think, with all the other years or recent years. Like, I think I do a little over 100 books a year, so you know, to be a quarter of the way through with 27, like, that meshes. I was gonna try to read fewer books this year, like in a sort of spend less time reading, more time cleaning, you know, and playing with my child, stuff like that. But it looks like I'm failing at that at the minute. So, number 2 is, have you found a book that you think is your favorite book for 2024 yet? Or just the best one so far? And I think I do have a few 5-star books for the year already. Not loads, mind. Maybe fewer than normal at this point. But there was Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, who I love. I love Rachel Harrison. I've not gone through an author's backlist faster in my life. I love everything she writes. But this one, this Black Sheep one, it's about like a sort of devil worship cult, and like the main character, she's like a princess of the cult, you know, like her parents are heads of it, but she hates it and she's left to just have like a menial job in the real world. Loved it. And then one I just finished that I picked up in Australia, an Australian author, Boy Swallows Universe by Trent Dalton. Loads of Australians, I think, that I talked to about this author and this book, loads of them said they love both the author and the book, but like sort of when they said it, they felt a bit like sort of embarrassed about it, like they needed to say something else, like, oh, I really loved it, but it might just be because of this, or you may not like it because of this, or whatever. Like, I don't know, like they had like an apprehension about sort of saying straight out that they love it, and I was confused. But now I get it. It's like the cheesiest grocery store book aisle trash, okay? Over emotional, plot hold, ridiculousness. But it's so amazing. I loved it so much. 5 stars. 5 cheesy stars, bro. That might be one of my faves for the year. I don't know. Also loved Black Sheep. It'll be, you know, neck and neck there until we find something better. And that Trent Dalton one, basically, in a nutshell, this kid who's growing up in Queensland in the 80s, he's loved and cherished by his family and his sort of friends and the authority figures in his life. But they're all druggies and drug dealers and criminals, and they're causing him and his brother deep childhood trauma, just with their dysfunction and the violence that they bring in their lives. But it was really cute. Loved it. So much heart. Okay, like I'm gonna cry. It's so amazing. Okay, number 3 is, are there any 1-star books or just your least favorite book so far? I'm gonna go with, sadly, with a regret, Winter's Gifts by Ben Aronovich. This is part of like the Rivers of London series, and I love the Rivers of London. Love it. I've read literally every book and graphic novel in that series. I have milked the absolute shit out of it because it's amazing. But this was the only book in that whole series that I didn't like, and it's the newest one. It's like a side thing, like a novella side story. So it's not your main normal characters. It's like side characters that exist in the same world as the other ones. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like the main character. She was completely unlikable, and sort of the plot didn't catch me. It was just like, he fell through on this one. He fell through. He's let me down. He's let a load of people down. No one liked this one, okay? And now we'll just have to sit on that one, the last one he ever wrote, and wait for him to write another one. It's so frustrating, okay? He has a lot to answer for. That's well upset me. That's wound me right up. It's made me feel pretty tired, actually. So, well, let's push on. Let's get through this. Okay, we've got a lot to do. Number 4 is, what was your most read genre for the year so far? And according to Storygraph stats, it is fantasy/horror, which makes sense. I did do quite a bit of nonfiction reading this year, more than usual, but I can see how that would be the steady winner. Okay, number 5 is a book that surprised you. I'm gonna go with Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. So this was an audiobook that I listened to, and it was just really random, a super random pick, like off BorrowBox or Libby or something, when I just was in bed thinking, oh, I'd like to go to sleep, but I want to listen to something first, and I didn't have any audiobooks on the go. Like, I just finished one. I just needed a random one to start, at nighttime. And I picked this one, like Why We Sleep. I was like, brilliant. I'm trying to sleep anyway. It seems relevant. And that hooked me. That bitch hooked me from the go. And I was like glued to it. And I sucked it down. It's quite a big one. It's quite long. I sucked it down in like a day. And it has changed everything about my life. Like, I see sleep as so important now. Like, I mean, obviously real grown-ups. Like, people who are like good at being grown-ups. Okay, like, don't be a show-off. Okay, we know that you're good at being grown-ups, but you probably already knew that sleep was super important. And you're probably like, how did you not know? And to be honest, I did know. I did know that it was important, but I didn't know how important it was. And I think, even though I knew it was important, I thought that because, I'm not super young and I'm not super old, that I'm like immune to it. Like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Do you know what I mean? But like, listening to this guy like sort of like talk about all these studies and all this data, and he like interprets the data, and he gives you like real life scenarios, and like he just tells it so well. I was so gripped, and now I'm like afraid of going on road trips because the number of people who are driving behind their cars with not anywhere near the amount of sleep they should have had before getting behind the wheel of their car. Like, my God. I can't. It's just changed my whole life. I think about it all the time now. I can't stop thinking about it. That and those conjoined twin women who married that one guy. Like, that and the sleep thing are two things that I cannot stop thinking about for my life. Just every moment of every day is filled thinking about one of those two things. Okay, next one. It's a 2024 book release that's out now that you want to read but haven't read yet. And there are a couple, actually. There's one called like Diavola by Jennifer Marie Thorne, I think, and it's a haunted house book. Love a haunted house book, me, and it's been around a bit. I've seen people start talking about it. Also another one called Cuckoo by Gretchen Felker Martin, something like that. And that's like where kids are sent to like a like a gay fixer camp or something, like a Pray the Gay Away camp or something in the desert. And there's this like malevolent force there. There's like a haunted bit in the desert or something, which makes it creepy. I don't know. They both look quite good. Okay, next one is a 2024 book goal you're succeeding at. And I would just like to say that joining the Book Naturalist book club with Heidi and Doris has been amazing for my life. Okay, it was a risk. I knew going into it that maybe I wouldn't like it very much, but I'm loving it. It's amazing. Every month I've kept up with the Book Naturalist book club, and I've been changed in some way by every book that I read. And they're books that I definitely would not have picked up myself. So, chef's kiss, okay, to my ability to keep to that goal. Okay, but the next one is a book goal for the year that you need to refocus on, because you ain't shit at it, and that is my goal to read one Welsh language book every month. What was I thinking? What? I don't even have words. Like, I obviously was not going to keep up with that. I think I've read two. It's April. I am so behind now that I can't even bring myself to try to catch up. Like, what am I just going to read, like, 3 Welsh language books this month? No, I'm not gonna do that. That's just dead. That goal is dead to me now. Okay? It's gone. I'm gonna bury it. I think. Actually, no, I'm not gonna bury it. It's not too late. I can still pull it out of the bag. I can still pull this together, okay? I just need to focus on it. I just need to make it a priority in my life, okay? Welsh language books. Two Welsh language books this month. Starting tomorrow. I'm gonna do it. Watch me. I'm gonna do it. But maybe actually starting next week because I got a lot on in work. Don't pressure me. I'll work it out. I'll definitely work it out. Like, maybe I'll get the baby to help me because she's a Welsh speaker. Maybe I'll get her to like read some books to me. Like, that'll count. That'll be fine. This'll be okay. Okay, last one. It's to say a new to you booktuber that you're loving at the minute that you would recommend. And I do have one. I just found one very recently that I'm loving, which is Books with Tofu Kadu. She, I think, lives in France, but is from Spain, like Catalonia originally. And she reads horror, and she's funny, and she's doing like a readathon that she created herself, and it's so intricate. And I learned about her through a comment on my last video. Like, I'll put it like here. This was your comment. Thank you so much. It has changed my life. I love this person now and watch her loads. I would recommend her to anyone. Okay, y'all, we've done it. We nailed it. We got through all of it. It is super late. If you've got all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Thank you. I love you. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments, please. Any thoughts, any recommendations, books you think I'll like or won't like based on the things I said, or what you're reading, if you think is amazing, you think I maybe will also think that's amazing. Please let me know. This is all information I must have. I need it. Thank you. I will see you next time. Good night.